episode of the Three Counting Out podcast. Yeah! It's episode 17, baby. Today we have reactions to the NFL draft because that actually happened this time. We can talk about those picks now. And then the WWE draft, while useless, we have a pay-per-view to look forward to, so we'll talk about that instead. Hello, everybody, and welcome back. My name is Era V1, and this week, if you say their name, they will also appear. I am joined by two men from Michigan. Go ahead and introduce yourselves.
I'm Mike. I'm just happy to be here, get to talk about some football, some wrestling, and the massive draft that happened in Detroit, breaking the record for people by, 50,000?
A lot. That was a big
and
crowd.
We're joined by the man that should have been there because he'd have been louder than everybody else.
Queen
Jackal.
of Valhalla, sit on my face! Hi, I'm Jackal. How are we now? I originally was slated to get a job at the draft, but boy, oh boy, good golly, Miss Molly, I feel like I dodged a bullet at this point because Jesus tap dancing Christ, that was a lot of people downtown.
Yeah, that was a big crowd. That was a big crowd of people.
I don't think that record is going to be beaten by a city in quite some time because they've gone to some big hitting cities already. They've been to a Nashville, they've been to a Vegas, they've been to a Cleveland, so they've been to some pretty big important towns, and Detroit is the one to knock them off that perch and take the number one spot. So you know what? I'm proud of the city. Damn it!
Where
they sold out every hotel in Detroit, every single one.
Were they at Ford Field?
Basically, like
they were in Hart Plaza or Campus Martius, one of the two, but they ended up blocking off like 12 different streets,
Jesus.
So you couldn't go within like 2 miles of the place.
Fuck you, Detroit.
They went, hey, you want to go downtown? Walk.
You could do that later. Come back in 3 days.
Yeah.
Where they were at was like, it was definitely within walking distance of Ford Field. Like, it's not like they were on the other side of the town or anything. They were very close to where the Lions play. And overall, just seeing, Detroit finally filled after years of people constantly making Detroit jokes one after the other, and seeing hundreds of thousands of people pack the streets downtown for a really honestly entertaining weekend was warming my little Michigander heart, if I'm being honest with you.
It's the Detroit comeback.
Honestly, man, I'm here for it. And with some of the picks that's happened, I don't know about you, Mike, Detroit's looking like they're going to be a heavy hitter come next season.
I like that they actually did the thing they were supposed to.
Right.
They drafted smart. It made me so happy to not see, like, wide receiver from who knows Wisconsin drafted first round. Oh my God, I was so happy. I was hoping we were going to get Kool-Aid just because I wanted to hear that name yelled over the speakers.
It's a great name. It's a great
name.
Yeah.
They did pick smart. They picked people we needed. They picked people that could grow. I mean, there's a guy from like Canadian football who even they were going, we were really hoping that nobody was going to fucking notice this guy because we wanted him back because he's a star. And they're like, the only places that we see him being a star is Detroit. And then I think he said like Kansas City or something like that. But they were like, Detroit's going to make him the next big lineman. Like, he's going to do amazing things. They're like, we're pissed that he's gone. So, Detroit, I think, did what they were supposed to do, and they did it well.
Unfortunately, with that one, it did come quite a bit later in the draft, and there were some picks that happened before that one first. For example, we take a look at the Chicago Bears, the number 1 overall draft pick that surprised absolutely nobody. Caleb Williams getting taken as Chicago sent Justin Fields off to a farm up north, aka Pittsburgh, to basically, fight for a draft fight for a starting QB job with Mr. Broncos country, let's ride. Russell Wilson out in Pittsburgh, but Chicago and Caleb
fight.
Williams. That's Jesus, that's a really good point. It's going to be interesting to see Caleb Williams because he has a lot of weapons, and what people are failing to realize that the Chicago Bears basically have a starting lineup of offensive linemen made up of Burger King employees, actually. So Caleb Williams has a lot of people to throw to, not too many people to protect him.
Yeah, he's getting the old Detroit treatment.
Yeah, he's basically...
You're a star. Good luck running for your life.
Good luck.
It's all you. Good luck.
Matt Stafford, circa 2009, says hello, my friend, because with some upgrades that people have gotten on the defensive line, I think the Bears will be really good in scoring points. They're going to be very explosive plays quickly. I don't think they're going to make very long drives with Caleb. And who knows, maybe once the Bears start picking up actual offensive linemen with a pulse and brain cells to be able to protect him, there'll probably be something decent in the future. Just, they're going to be better than last year. Not as good as people are thinking, though.
The problem is Justin Fields is now going to show out how good he is when he's on a team that, can think.
But
has a front office that knows what the fuck is going on, kind of, at least.
That's the beautiful thing about all this, though. It's neither one of our problems anymore. That problem goes to our dear friend Blast, who guest starred on the first episode. That's his issue to deal with now. He's in the North. Specialty football correspondent, now having to deal with Justin Fields himself. Too bad, so sad, wouldn't want to be ya. Looking at the next pick, one of us are going to have to deal with, though, as we turn our heads to the NFC East, as the Washington Commies pick up the gunslinger out of LSU, Jaden Daniels. And from someone who has been the outside looking in on the NFC East, the Washington Commanders have been a thorn in the Eagles' side for the past couple of years.
Yeah, they've always been the team that's just kind of like, you look at them, you're like, oh, it's a Commanders game. Yeah, it's nothing to worry about. And then all of a sudden they just come out of it. It's like, what the fuck, dude? It's like, yeah, we can't be losing the fucking Commanders. Come on, bro. So I mean, I don't know. I'm not really too worried. I thought the Eagles overall had a good draft. I'll get into that later, I guess. But like, I'm not worried.
I will say he is on paper a little more intimidating than a former XFL quarterback. R.I.P. Sam Howell, wherever your sweet little heart is playing out. I think he's on the Seahawks, Mike.
Who?
Sam Howell? No, did he?
No, I thought he was in the Jets. Falcons.
I think he's going to be a third.
Fuck, no, I can't remember.
Me neither.
But Jaden Daniels is also, I was just reading quick on it, the only player in FBS history to pass for 12,000 and rush for 3,000.
Jesus.
So
good
he,
Lord.
I think, is the one dual threat that they've needed for a long time. And he's tall, 6'4", tall
He's
guy.
a big boy.
Can look
hit him in
over
the
people,
legs.
throw some good balls, or can get out of the pocket and run for his life if he has to. I mean, if they actually decide to put a team around him, hell, man, that could be scary.
Hopefully the Commanders fuck it up.
And knowing them, there's a very good chance that they do.
Yeah.
One can only hope.
Now that they've finally they've been having a lot of issues with their owner, and the stadium is basically as old as my dead grandfather at this point, with good old pipes bursting in FedEx Stadium, spraying poop all over the bathroom, poop pipes leaking out, and the literal bleachers breaking down with Washington's
It's just their
fans
playbook.
falling on top of of Jalen Hurts as the Eagles are leaving the stadium. Washington's got some problems to fix, and I think now they're actually on track to start fixing said issues. Now,
Never forget the poop pipes.
A team that has had a lot of issues in the past, and who knows if they're really fixing them just yet. The New England Patriots pick Drake May out of the University of North Carolina with the number 3 overall pick, as they traded Mac Jones the Jacksonville Jaguars for a Happy Meal and a pat on the back. Drake May is coming into a equivalent of a Matt Stafford 2008 Detroit Lions situation because New England has nothing. They have absolutely nothing. Usually you can rely on New England having Bill Belichick, but even his old ass isn't going to be with the Patriots this year. So I think Drake May is a very good football player. It's just he has fuck all nothing to work with.
Yeah, seeing the Patriots.
Sidebar.
Go for it.
I was going to say sidebar. It was surprising. We talked about this, like watching the draft, especially watching Pat McAfee's version.
Mm-hmm.
That's the most I've ever seen Bill Belichick talk. I thought he could only like grunt and say one or two words. This man was saying like he was breaking down players. He was breaking down plays. I was like, what? This man can form whole paragraphs. Oh my.
He's got football as a special interest. You know what I mean?
And he wasn't wearing his hoodie.
No, he wasn't. He was looking quite spiffy.
Yeah, no guns out. What's going on with that? Is it cold?
Guns are officially retired.
That's how you know he's maturing. Even though he's like 80 years old.
I guess it's about time.
You know what? It's bound to happen eventually, as he's been the head coach, and I also think GM for the Patriots for my entire waking existence as a human being. So it's going to be interesting to see the Patriots going into this new generation, and I'm sure all of their fans are real upset as they're crying into their 8 Super Bowl trophies. I don't think they care too much.
Yeah, I think this is the first time that I've actually been excited to see what happens with the Patriots this season. Just because I want to know, like, how they're gonna function, right? Like, like, he was such an integral part of that team for so long, and I was just like, all right, I'm gone, and it's like, okay,
okay, now what?
It's just this giant Bill Belichick sized void. It's just like, all right, now what? And I want to see what happens.
It's up to a rookie quarterback and essentially a team of misfits to try and figure out, and I don't think it's going to go very well.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like it's going to be a lot to watch, but it sounds like it's going to be a fun time for the time it's around.
So I'm looking at their little draft class because, I mean, they were kind of one of those teams where you're like, oh, look at the babies. They drafted Drake May. In the 6th round, they drafted Joe Milton III, who's also a quarterback.
Yep.
So that's confusing. They drafted 2 wide receivers and a tight end. So hopefully, I mean, I think those wide receivers are probably going to start immediately because they have wacky waving inflatable arm flailing tube men as their current wide receivers.
See that 2 times fast.
I did it once. I don't think I can do it again. But yeah, that team is going to be one of those ones where it's like, all right, they're either going to, I don't think they're going to make any kind of splash.
No.
I think the only thing New England fans should look for is improvement. Yeah, even if it's a little bit, just some improvement.
But if you are looking for entertaining football, I say we look towards the next pick, as the Cardinals have the number 4 slot, taking Marvin Harrison Jr. out of Ohio State, but him getting paired with Captain Scramble Kyler Murray, I think, is going to be a very fun combo to watch, as Kyler is going to just huck it up and say, fuck it, Marvin down there somewhere, he'll probably catch the damn ball. I think the Cardinals are going to have a very good offense, and I think the Cardinals are going to have a defense that cannot keep up with the very good offense.
That's true.
Because there's bits and pieces coming together. I think the Cardinals stole the Eagles' offensive coordinator? Question mark? I'm not too certain.
I don't know about that one either.
Once Cliff Kingsbury left, I believe his replacement was the Eagles' O coordinator that I think had the undefeated season with Sirianni. I can't remember. I'm not really too much of a Cardinals football fan.
They hired Jonathan Gannon as head coach.
Yeah, Gannon, that's who it was.
There we go. Thank you, Google.
So that is going to be a very fun, entertaining offense to watch. The Cardinals are a couple couple key pieces away from becoming very good. I feel like the Cardinals are going to be a team.
So I was just looking at their team. They had 12 picks this year, which is insane.
Wow.
Do you know how many of them they traded to get? 8 of them.
Oh, Jesus. My God.
And I mean, they picked up Marvin Harrison Jr., but then they picked up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people on defense. So
needed.
Not too bad. I mean, they did pretty 50-50, 6 offense, 6 defense. So hopefully they help. Hopefully that's again, I'm hoping this year's looking like it's going to be one of the more competitive football years.
And if you're looking at a football team that's going to be competitive and very boring, opposite the Arizona Cardinals, we can kind of speed through these next couple of picks as they're all kind of boring in of themselves. The LA Chargers picking up some much needed protection for Justin Herbert as Jim Harbaugh selects Joe Alt out of Notre Dame with a number 5 pick. Not much to say about this one. He's a big-ass fucking white dude in the middle of the woods. He's going to be a big-ass white dude. That's it.
He's exactly that. He's 6'9".
Fuck's sake. I didn't think he was that big.
Big dude. It's a goddamn mountain.
Yeah, he's a big boy. He's a big boy.
That's a big fella.
He was born and bred to play football.
Oh, did Danny accidentally leave? Okay, well, while he's figuring his stuff out, we'll just move along.
Okay. There we go. I think we're back. There we go. All right, it's stabilized. That was very odd. My bad. My apologies.
Nah, you're good. You're good.
So the Giants didn't pick up a quarterback. In fact, they picked up Malik Neighbors, a running back in the 5th, and a tight end in the 4th. So Malik is basically going to be running downfield with nobody to pass to him because I think they're still using good old
goober.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all you got to say about it. Malik Neighbors, great wide receiver. Daniel Jones, terrible quarterback. And especially now that the Giants don't have Saquon, as he's going back home to Philly, I think the Giants' offense is going to be dog shit this year.
Yeah, they might be the worst team in the league this year.
There's a chance.
I'll take it.
Next up, another safe pick. J.C. Latham out of Alabama going to Tennessee to give Will Levis a little bit of protection. Similar to the Chargers, the Tennessee Titans just have no other offensive pieces besides that. I mean, they have DeAndre Hopkins, but he's getting up there in age. He ain't a spring chicken no more. But now
Latham is one of those dudes that's going to be just good in that position for years to come. That's all it is.
Extremely. Oh yeah. We look to the number 8 pick in the draft. Personally, my favorite pick out of the entire draft, as the Atlanta Falcons have selected Michael Penix Jr. out of Washington to be a backup to a quarterback that they just got done paying $100 million guaranteed to and said, don't worry, Kirk, we found your backup in the 1st round after we just signed you 3 months ago. That pick makes no sense to anybody who knows football.
No, and the thing that gets me is, all right, if they wouldn't have had Kirk Cousins, I think drafting him is a good idea. I think he's good. I think he's really good. I think he faced a Michigan team that was ready to whoop his ass, and they did. But it just said he led the nation in the last 2 seasons in passing yards per game. That's pretty fucking good, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And then instead of going to a team that needs him, he went to a team that clearly is just going money and then burning it and letting on fire the dumpster, you know? It's why you would go, here's $100 million, Kirk. Oh, hi, Michael Penix Jr. We're going to sit you on the sideline so nobody else can have you. It is so fucking wonky. I'm assuming they're thinking, man, Kirk is going to go down at some point this season. We need somebody after he wins us the first 8 games and goes out with a knee injury. We need somebody to finish the season.
Yep.
And that's why they got him.
Yeah, that's what it felt like to me, too. It was just like having him on the sidelines, just basically waiting for Kirk Cousins to just go down. And then as soon as he's down, it's like, all right, cool. Well, we still have another fucking weapon that we can put on. Like, you know, it's like, all right, he's down. All right, this is arguably better. Like, cool.
I think they saw what happened in Green Bay with Jordan Love and Aaron Rodgers and said, what if we do that too? But instead, we'll pay our quarterback $1/10 billion instead. Great idea, GM. Regardless,
well, and there's always a preseason. Yeah, if in the preseason for some reason Michael Penix Jr. starts over him and like plays the season ahead of him, then they're going, man, we are so stupid. We just threw away $100 million. Look at us.
Yep.
That would be only something that a team like the Browns would do. Oh,
man, they didn't even have a first-round pick to fuck up.
Nope.
But a team that did not fuck up their other first-round pick is the Chicago Bears coming back in at number 9, picking up Rome Odunze out of Washington again to give Caleb Williams another weapon to throw to.
A damn good weapon.
I am very much well aware of the weapons and receivers that the Bears have, but thankfully we have some teams that are doing very important things to make sure that those weapons don't run wild, because a team that isn't really doing that too much is the Minnesota Vikings with the number 10 pick, as they have selected Mike's favorite football player of all time, JJ McCarthy out of Michigan.
Listen, I might have been a little critical, but that's because he had one of the best offenses in the league to back him up, so he didn't do anything.
No.
He didn't have to, though.
No, not at all.
Everybody's like, he's so good game time. And it's like, what, 1 or 2 games a season? He didn't have to be. you hand the ball to Blake Corum. Blake Corum runs it for 250 yards and 6 touchdowns. And you're like, whoo, McCarthy's so good.
He's had the 2 good throws, and they both came in the single Ohio State game. And that's it.
Mm-hmm.
But regardless, Minnesota saw that and said, he's our guy. We want him. And we will
and moved up to get him.
Traded up, too, no less. Absolutely. Hopefully, the Lions and Aiden Hutchinson kind of have his way with him, though.
Well, but he's throwing to Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, and TJ Hawkinson. Like, that's some bullshit. Yeah. Again, he just has to go, they're down there, throw it, and somewhere. One of those guys will be there.
Now, I mentioned some teams taking some steps to make sure that those offenses and quarterbacks don't run wild, and that would be the Eagles and the Lions, as they both made similar first-round picks, although the Eagles did go first. And they have selected one of the best names in the draft. I believe, if I'm saying it correctly, Quinyon Mitchell? Quinyon?
I think it's Quinyon Mitchell.
Funyon, but Quinyon
Mitchell. Funyon Mitchell.
Funyon Mitchell.
Excellent cornerback, up for debate as the best cornerback in the draft, as like we talked about last week and kind of mentioned it a little bit. In the playoff loss, I feel pretty good about sort of my predictions and reads of teams. Like we saw against the Buccaneers in Tampa, you guys got beat on the outside. And, Sirianni saw that and said, no, we're not having that happen again. We're getting some defensive help. Yeah. Picking up him, as well as a pick that I got correct. I had mentioned it on last week's episode. Mr. Jackie Robinson himself, Cooper DeJean, going to the Eagles. One of, if not the only, white cornerback in the NFL.
And between getting those two in the first 2 rounds, that made Philly's secondary scary.
Very
good. It made me very happy.
Very good.
That's what it did.
Yes.
It made me
because
very
they are
happy.
both ball hawks. I think both of them are going to be disrupting plays the whole damn year.
Yeah. No doubt. No doubt at all. Because you guys still have Darius Slay. You guys got back CJGJ from the Lions. So your secondary is going to be damn good next year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Now-
I think the times of us calling the Eagles defense Swiss cheese are about to be over.
Do you know?
Well, especially because you got rid of Captain Dumbass, right?
Well,
Yeah, Patricia's
you
gone,
know.
that's why.
Get rid of Matt Patricia. It solves a lot of your problems. You're right.
Do you know who the other draft picks are of the Eagles? Because I only know the first two.
Yeah, so we had quite a few. We had Quinion Mitchell, Cooper DeJean. We had Jalix Hunt
Oof.
on edge. We had Will Shipley and a running back, which I don't understand why we drafted Will Shipley.
I kind of get it. They got him for he'll probably be for outside like pitch plays. He's got a good burst around the corner.
Okay.
He's going to be that guy that just relieves. Probably he's not going to be.
Yeah.
You're not going to see him often, but he's
throw him
definitely
in for
going
a
to be
little
in
bit.
there for relief.
Yeah, give Saquon's legs a break. Yeah.
Not bad.
Mm-hmm.
Not bad.
We got, I don't know how to say this name, but it looks like Anus Smith.
I believe it's Anais.
Yeah.
I believe it's
Anais.
Anais
Oh.
Smith.
Very nice. Very nice.
We got my favorite pick that I saw this weekend, Jeremiah Trotter Jr. Because he is actually fucking Eagles fucking legacy child. Jeremiah Trotter Sr. Was a crazy linebacker in like 98. Like franchise linebacker. Just fucking awesome. So it's good to see him come back. He's gonna wear his dad's number,
Well,
so he's gonna be rocking number 54.
So I think somebody at the Eagles camp was going, you know what? I went to Clemson once, and that's why they picked Will Shipley and Jeremiah Trotter. But Jeremiah is one of only 14 players to record 10 sacks, 10 plus sacks, 4 plus interceptions, 3 plus forced fumbles, and multiple pick sixes. So,
Yeah, football's in his
I
blood.
mean, that's not bad. He's only 6'2", 228, but he's got that dog in him.
That's
So,
pretty good.
mhm.
And I love any player that has a good story behind them too. So, you know, having like that, it hits good. We got Trevor Keegan coming from Michigan. We got Johnny Wilson from Florida State and Dylan McMahon, not related, from North Carolina State.
Not bad. Not bad.
Don't
not
be
bad,
surprised
not
if Johnny Wilson ends up as a tight end for you guys, because he is 6'6", 230. So he a big boy.
That's
Big
hardy
boy.
right there.
Big boy. Yeah, overall, I know a
think
lot of
it'll
people.
end up they'll be shifting him.
I know a lot of people were critical of the Eagles draft picks because they were like, "Oh, they didn't come out with a lot of offensive picks." Like, yeah, we waited later in the draft to do that, but that's because we fucking signed Saquon. Like the offense is handled, you know. Like we can like we needed to build that defense, and the Eagles came out and did that. So overall, I think it's pretty good. I think a lot of these players, you know, that are like these later draft picks that are, you know, those offensive picks where it's like, well, why did they get Will Shipley? It's going to be for those couple of plays, or it's going to be just, you know, kind of wait your turn, practice squad type stuff. So overall, I think everyone's going to fit into the team somewhere. We'll just have to see where.
And speaking of fitting in, we can turn our attention to the team that picked, I think, 2 picks after the Eagles. Your Detroit Lions taking a wonderful cornerback in the first round, and his name escapes me at the moment because I do not have that pulled up.
Terrion Arnold.
Hell yeah, cornerback, Alabama, because we were right there with the Eagles. We had a phenomenal run defense, but Jesus, we could let a kindergartner down the field. Rest in piss, Cam Sutton. Basically, it would look like a piece of toast. No wonder he had so much aggression to, domestically assault his significant other. That piece of trash. Allegedly, all alleged.
I mean, he
Please
did
don't
turn
come after me,
himself
Cam.
Turned himself in for it, but allegedly, just in case, cover my own ass.
You never know.
Picked up some amazing secondary pieces to bolster the already amazing pickups we got from the offseason, taking the corner from Tampa as well as the corner from the Raiders to help out the defense, because the offense, if we're being honest, didn't need much help. The offense did not need much help. But the pieces that we did get on the offensive side of the ball are going to be amazing depth, like that big some bitch, that Canadian bastard you were talking about earlier, Mike.
Giovanni Manu.
Oh my God, that's
he's even got like a big boy name.
He big.
That is a almost 7 foot tall man playing football.
Yes, 6'8", 350. That man is going to be pancaking.
What are they feeding them in Canada?
All year.
Yeah, poutine.
That's all.
Moose.
350 pounds
Poutine,
of
moose, and polar bear.
Moose
Hell
muscles.
yeah, brother. Now, I'm excited about that. To basically have, almost on our front starting lineup, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
I would have the only thing I would have done, and we can still do this in the offseason, just some wide receiver depth. I feel like we have Amon-Ra, we have J-Mo, we have DPJ, and that's it, because we lost Josh Reynolds to free agency as he hightailed it off to Denver, I believe. I'm happy with a lot of places on our team right now. It's just wide receiver depth and maybe a kicker, and I am golden for whatever this season brings.
You don't need
I'm going to say it now.
Easy.
They need to pay whatever money they need to pay to get that kicker from the Michigan Panthers on the team.
They're making 60-yard bombs?
Get that one.
Then that fucker can boot a 64-yarder, a 62-yarder, and a 54-yarder in back-to-back games. I want him. I want him now.
Yeah,
on the Lions.
I don't blame
Very
you.
good. Very impressive. Overall, I am excited for NFL because I'm always going to be a big football guy no matter what. So this time of year is always hard for me because I have nothing really to consume content-wise when it comes to sports. Whether I'm sitting down on Netflix trying to find a South Korean movie, or if I end up stumbling upon a French documentary. Gosh, if only there wasn't something happening in France this weekend.
Well, I have good news for you, because I don't know if they're filming a documentary, but if you're looking for something in French this weekend on Saturday, in fact, if you're listening to this episode as soon as it comes out, first of all, hi, thank you. Second of all, in about an hour, well, I guess at this point, in about 30 minutes, WWE Backlash is about to happen, which is always kind of one of those pay-per-views that I felt like never really mattered. And then they put it in Puerto Rico and realized, holy shit, if we go outside of the continental U.S. to places that normally don't get WWE shows, they're rabid for whatever trash we throw at them.
You're telling me other countries like wrestling too?
Dude, what? I know, it's wild. Right, I know. Other people...
Son of a bitch.
Get this. Ready? Everybody likes wrestling. Weird.
Oh.
Anyway, they're going to France, which is going to be the only place that Baron Corbin is ever going to get cheered, so they left him off the card.
Of course, naturally.
Well, there's really only a handful of matches for WWE Backlash, and I mean, God, how far they've come from the Puerto Rico card, because that just felt awesome. But I mean, maybe they could turn it around. I don't really think anyone's going to have a Bad Bunny entrance or anything like that, but it'd be cool.
Yeah, there's no fancy French people that are super well known. That would be a great pop, huh?
No, nobody I can think of. I mean, maybe just somebody being really fancy, coming out like a baguette.
La Resistance, back from the dead.
I would turn off my TV.
It's weird. We had 500,000 people watching this pay-per-view on Peacock, but as soon as La Resistance came out, all 475,000 people not in France all turned off the pay-per-view at the same time. I wonder why that is.
Weird how that happens.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy.
Yeah, so there's not really much going on this card, match-wise. There's only 5 matches. It does kind of feel a little bit like they put it back in that transitional pay-per-view spot, but I also feel like we may have just been spoiled a lot with WrestleMania and Dynasty and all that other stuff that happened. It all feels like a blur, but we do get to see a couple matches that I am legitimately excited for, because I do think there are some interesting matchups here. The first one that I'm really excited for, just because in a way it's kind of following up on what I got to experience in Philadelphia. We have the team of Randy Orton and Kevin Owens versus the Bloodline, which is a different lineup than we've ever seen. The Bloodline, no Roman, no Jimmy, no Jay. It's Solo and Tama Tonga, and I have loved the way that they've been like presenting Tama Tonga and him. Like they already let him. I mean, granted, it was fake blood or whatever, but I mean, they already let him get covered in Kevin Owens' blood. So this is going to be a great fucking match.
It's going to go on for 15, 20 minutes, and then somebody's going to show up in a black hoodie.
Yeah, baby.
Which has never been done in a Bloodline match before.
Never.
So
Jacob Fatu is going to steal the hoodie spot. Let's go.
I mean, somebody has to now that Solo's in charge, right?
Yeah, and then they'll have a whole team of Samoan spikes.
It'll be like a super kick party, but Samoan spikes.
Oh my god.
Samoan spike
Samoan
party.
smash. The Samoan smash party? I don't know.
It's Spike Dudley. They could be the Samoan spikes.
I'm gonna say Samoan Smash Party was a video I watched on the internet last night.
I don't think WWE already tried doing Banger Bros. I don't know if they'll do the Samoan Smash Party. There
was an indie match that happened that they did a rock bottom and a power bomb in the same move, and they named it the power bottom.
Jackal, your finishing move.
That's fucking gimmick infringement, god damn it. You'll be hearing from my lawyers.
That was actually the first thing I thought of. So I was like, oh man, that was Jackal's finishing move. Oh, jeez.
I hope that when Jacob shows up, I hope that they just show him as like the ultimate oos that he is now, where he's just a fucking beast ripping through people. Like, let him just, because this dude, he's so fucking big, but he can move, dude. He's so agile. So I really hope that they just kind of let him flip around and do everything he always wanted to do. It'd be great.
Whereas the Roman bloodline sort of felt like the Godfather and his cronies, I want this bloodline to just be like the fucking, like the Band of Killers or something.
Yeah, this is the violent bloodline.
Yeah,
this is there's no rules. We're coming for your goddamn kneecaps. Bloodline.
I don't want class. I don't want cockiness. I don't want like, I'm better than you because I'm the tribal chief. I want the wild Samoans back, god damn it.
Yeah, dude.
As far as this match goes, it kind of, it's going to be Tama Tonga and Solo, because you're not going to bring
for sure
Tama Tonga all the way over from New Japan, and his debut match, you're going to have him drop to RKO, as they should and hopefully will be called if they do tag some more.
Yeah, what a great name. It's right there.
Works.
It's already on Randy Orton's tights. It's so easy. Just give Kevin Owens like a custom t-shirt. You're good.
I believe that, Kevin Owens did a t-shirt for it already, right?
Oh,
hell
fuck.
Yeah, dude.
See, they do listen to the podcast.
Yeah. All right. But no, it's a pretty safe bet that those two are going to take it. And guess what? I am A-okay with that. Totally fine.
Yeah.
And then the next match, speaking of people that are probably going to take it, I see this as a little bit of changing of the guard here, because the Kabuki Warriors, Asuka and Kairi Sane, your WWE Women's Tag Team Champions, are going to be going up against Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill. And I think they are firmly
Jade's in the moon.
Yeah, I think Jade's in the ring. Jade's gonna win. Jade's getting the tag team champs. They're gonna put it on Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill, and I mean, I guess I'm sure it's just building up to the eventual Jade versus Bianca, which, I mean, yeah, you can always go, the betrayal of the tag team route. That's always a fun story to tell. So I guess I wish they put more thought behind it, though.
Well, is this just them putting gold on Jade to keep her happy until they figure out how to put her in the main event?
I think so. I think so. Yeah. I think
because
eventually,
in reality, she should be on Raw holding the belt, right?
Yeah. I think eventually what's going to happen is we're going to get a good run of Bianca and Jade as your women's tag team champs. And then they're going to be a very good tag team together, right? Like they're amazing. Put them in the ring together. They're an amazing team. So like it's going to be a great run. It's going to be fun to watch. And then eventually I think probably Jade will wind up turning on Bianca because Jade's better as a heel. And then at some point they'll probably find a way to get like the title on Bianca, and then you could do Jade versus Bianca for the title. And you know, at that point I would say Jade would be going over. But I'm excited, man. I feel like this is I don't think they have like an exact roadmap yet for Jade Cargill, but I feel like they are at least starting to lay the seeds there of like this tag team's going to fall apart. This is going to be the basis of something bigger. Maybe even possibly setting up for Mania next year, looking even that far ahead, because we know that Triple H apparently fucking started writing last year's Mania in October. So who knows? Maybe he's getting an early start. Who knows? But I'm excited for this match. It's going to be fun to watch, but ultimately it's the women's tag team titles, so they just don't write any creative for it. So,
True. And I don't know if it's just me, but what are they doing between Raw and SmackDown? Like right now, SmackDown has a star-studded cast for their women's division, right? Bayley, Tiffany, Naomi.
Yeah,
the women's, I guess, Nia, Jade, Asuka, Bianca, the rest of Damage Control. It's insane. And then you have Becky, Rhea, and Liv on Raw.
Yeah, and the women's tag team championships, they're still cross
they need
shows.
To go away.
Like it's not a big enough. I hate to say it, but the women's tag team division isn't big enough to go across two shows. Or if it is, it's just not split up. Like you have a lot of you have a lot of like faction matches and stuff, but it's these big factions of like 4 or 5 people, and it kind of eats it up when you have giant factions like that, and then you can't really have them fight each other, like. So
yeah,
I don't know. I feel like they're again just using this as a side piece in a bigger story, which is unfortunate. But I feel like WWE may be rewriting a different story, because another women's championship, the WWE Women's Championship, is on the line. Bayley versus Naomi versus Tiffany Stratton. I don't know why you would give Tiffany Stratton a championship opportunity and not give her the championship, because she's already been chasing this thing for months at this point, and the fans are firmly behind her. Like I understand that they're not going to have Tiffany Stratton get pinned, right? Like Tiffany Stratton's not going to lose.
No, Naomi's going to lose.
Yeah, but like that's just not going to be a good outcome for this match. Like I feel like everybody kind of wants the Tiffany underdog story.
I want to call the ending right now. Tiffany does her prettiest moonsault ever. Bayley knocks her out of the ring, gets a pin, 1, 2, 3. Bayley retains.
Yeah, probably.
I feel so bad, because I love Bayley. I love Bayley so much. I fell in love with her when she was doing the takeover matches with Sasha. Like Bayley, Sasha, and Takeover Brooklyn is probably one of my more favorite wrestling matches of
it was a
all
great
time.
match. Yep.
But I feel like this era of Bayley right now, unfortunately, kind of did get carried by the story that she was in, because outside of fighting people that were and are still in Damage Control, I'm not super interested in seeing her defending that title right now. I'm going to be honest. So giving it to somebody else, I feel like opens the door for much more opportunities, new storylines, whatever you want to call it. So I will probably say I'm on board with Tiffany Stratton winning the title as well.
I would love her to. I would love for Tiffany to hold the belt. The problem is with all the work Bailey's done, I don't see them just having her lose it, a month after she got it?
Yeah.
That's my problem. That's why I think it's all set for Tiffany to win. Bam, hits that moonsault, gets yucked out of the ring, and boom, 1, 2, 3. Or because Nia interfered on SmackDown, she interferes again, and that's how Bailey retains. Something stupid like that.
Yeah, I just feel like they don't really know what to do with Bailey. You know, like even like in the WrestleMania promotion leading up to it, like people were making a big deal because Bailey was like just left off the WrestleMania poster. And it's like, dog, she's your WWE Women's Champion. Like,
right.
What the like? I feel like WWE is always behind her. You know, like they trust her to have these moments, and obviously if they're giving her the title, they trust her to just take it and run with it. But like they just never write anything for her. It's always just, oh, look at how much everybody loves her. Look, it's great, and it's like, okay, cool. When she's surrounded by people, she's in these cool stories, but now she has the solo title, and it's like, okay, what's Bailey gonna do? And it's like, well, Bailey's been leading this group. It's like, okay, well, she's not leading it anymore. So now what? And we just haven't gotten that now what yet, you know? Like, I don't know. I don't know if they're maybe second guessing it and going, well, we got people that are hotter, and, you know, we just had a little bit of a shake up on the Raw side. You know, who knows? But I don't know. I think Mike's probably right. I'm probably going to be Bailey retaining through some bullshit, but I wish if they were at least going to have her retain, I would hope it would at least be like a solid, you know, like a definitive, and not just some weird bullshit.
If it's definitive, I hope it's with a Bailey to belly and not her dumbass finisher that she misses.
Yeah, that's the only finish I'll accept, is if she brings back the belly to belly. That's it. I don't care if it's a fucking belly to belly suplex. I don't give a fuck. It's fucking awesome when she hits it. The place goes insane. And they'll probably also go insane for this next match, because the fucking everybody goes insane for this man. The challenger, Jey Uso, yeet, versus the world heavyweight champion, well-deserved, Damian Priest, the man that I never thought would cash in the Money in the Bank briefcase. He did it. This is his first title defense. This is going to be a violent match.
The bisexual Undertaker looks good with a belt, though.
Well, bisexual Undertaker looks great with a belt, and he's going to keep that gold for a while.
Yeah, I'm hoping so.
Yeah,
I will say, I am very glad that they're keeping up the Backlash tradition of after WrestleMania every single year. It's always the most random ass challenger that you can imagine. I'm looking at you, Cesaro, after 37.
Yeah.
It's always like, oh my god, they just had such a dominant title defense. Who are we going to have him fight next? I don't fucking know. Just give him anybody. Jay. Perfect. Got it. Okay. Like, it's kind of random in my opinion. I know they had ties in when Jay was flirting with Mommy, but that's about it. Other than that, you know, it is pretty random, I guess. Regardless, give me good old Punishment Martinez picking up a first successful title defense.
Yeah,
hey, that was his fat name.
Oh, sorry.
Don't dead name him. No, but you're right. It's definitely just like, here's a solid title defense against a man who is just super popular. I mean, it's probably the same reason why they put Tiffany Stratton in the women's match. They're just popular. You know, they're somebody that's going to go out there and get a reaction. And, you know, France is going to go rabid for anybody, because they, you know, these international shows, they don't really get these WWE shows, you know, so they're going to go insane no matter what. And then you just add on there, everybody bobbing up and down, fucking all these Frenchmen screaming yeet. How do you say, hey, Dan, do you speak French? How do you say yeet in French?
Sacre bleu, la yeet.
La yeet.
La yeet.
La yeet.
La yeet. But it's gonna be a damn good show. It's gonna be a damn good match.
And that's probably why
they
picked Jay, right? He's gonna get the crowd into it.
Yeah. No, I think it's gonna be like, did you guys watch Trick versus Ilya?
Oh yeah.
I saw bits and pieces.
So at the end of the match, the building was shaking. Legitimately,
It was.
you could see on camera the building shaking from how loud people were screaming. I think they're
they
trying
were
to
jumping
do
up
that
and down
with a
and
full.
cheering.
Yeah, no, I think they're gonna try to do that with Jey Uso. I don't think Jey Uso's gonna win, but I think they're going like that. I think they're focused purely on Jey Uso's entrance in a rabid stadium. Sure, I dig
I'm
it.
for
You know.
The only thing I want though, you have Damian Priest. This is his first title defense. I want this motherfucker to have the most extravagant entrance.
Oh yeah,
Like
yeah.
he's the bisexual Undertaker. He's a little goth icon now. I want him
Pyro
to come
out the
out in
ass.
like the most gimpiest fucking outfit he has,
dude.
and just put on like the biggest, most extravagant entrance because he finally gets to show off that belt in a match. Like you have to. It can't just be like, here's Damian Priest coming out to Judgment Day music again. Yay! It's got to be something cool. Right?
I want them to fire off fire extinguishers like they do for Becky Lynch's entrance. Like before she comes out, it's like the and you can just see the dudes off in the background waving the fire extinguishers up and down. I want to see that, but with Damian Priest.
I'm for it.
Also, a ton of fire. I like make him the bisexual Undertaker.
That's pretty important.
And then the main event. The main event of Backlash, we finally get to see. Well, I guess we already saw a title defense from him already, so it's not his first title defense. But Cody Rhodes versus AJ Styles for the undisputed WWE Championship for the first time in how long? We have a pay-per-view match, the WWE Championship, and Roman Reigns is nowhere to be found. Oh, it's so good.
God.
That's a wild feeling, isn't it?
Yeah, dude.
Like,
oh my God.
No Roman, no Rollins, no Drew McIntyre. It's so, because those three have been in like everything for the last year and a half, 2 years, 3 years. None of them. No Bobby Lashley, no Karrion Kross, nothing.
Well, I don't think anybody's too upset about that last two, but, you know, that's just my personal opinion. Regardless,
not upset about
it. Like, hey, Jackal, right there with you. I think if my Google search is correct here, I think the last time that the WWE Championship was defended, not by a man named Roman Reigns, I believe was The Fiend defending against Braun Strowman, if I remember, or was it the other way around? Harken your minds back to the COVID days, because that is when this happened.
I believe it was Braun defending against The Fiend because The Fiend won or was gonna win, and then we got Roman.
Jesus, man, that feels like a lifetime ago at this point. Well,
God,
actually,
it really does feel like a lifetime ago.
It feels fucking forever ago. That is so wild.
Oh, I'm so glad we got out of that.
I mean, I'm acknowledging my tribal chief, but I am also very happy that it's over.
Yeah, and I mean, what a fucking match. Especially AJ Styles recently has been getting comparisons to the modern day Shawn Michaels. So that's the level of AJ Styles we're dealing with right now, and that comparison, I think, comes directly from the Undertaker. So that is not, that is an opinion to definitely, let that digest.
But the thing is, if you go back to when he started in 2004, like, watch AJ from then on. AJ has always made whoever he's in the ring with look better. He doesn't put on a bad match ever.
No, he's
doesn't
not
matter who he's against. No, it doesn't matter who he's against. Doesn't matter if they're bigger, smaller, faster, slower, stronger, weaker. The dude puts on some incredible fucking matches with people you've never heard of, the biggest names in wrestling, somewhere in between. He always puts on a show. He deserves at least one more title run before he hangs them up. For sure.
I I really hope that if we get nothing more out of this match than a good match and a successful Cody Rhodes defense, please, WWE, get rid of AJ Styles' stupid fucking Def Rebel theme song. It sucks ass. It's so bad.
It does.
Please, can he have a new theme? Can he have something else? Call up TNA. They need any money they can get. Call them up and go, how much do you want for his old themes? Because they had it nailed down.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, $1. Dandy's right. I don't know if the mic picked that up, but Dandy said they want $1 to be able to license those themes. They may be correct.
No, they might want their premium price of like $10.
That is a
wait. They charge $10 now? What the fuck? What? Broken Matt
came
back and they decided they were.
Club.
Oh, the premium club. What's that? Like one dude?
Mm.
Yeah, his name's FGK.
No, I'm fairly certain he spends $1 like I do.
Oh, damn it.
Yeah, he's spending $10 to rewatch all of the old TNA pay-per-views.
That does parlay beautifully into a little tidbit I found this week. I believe I tagged you both in it on Twitter. Was this TNA's WrestleMania that just passed? And they had... Yeah. I'm looking at the stats here.
No.
No, not their WrestleMania. Oh, no, because that's Bound for Glory.
No, their WrestleMania
right?
is Bound for Glory, and then Slammiversary is their SummerSlam.
So, a pay-per-view of theirs, and we'll call it a B pay-per-view for gigs and shits, looks like...
B pay-per-views, but continue.
500 total buys.
Dude, that's... My high school graduating class was bigger than that.
All right, so... Here's the thing, all right? I want you to tell me if you'd watch this. And Era, I know you're biased because he's your favorite. But the finish of this show was a very sloppy sell from Moose because Nick Nemeth hit him with a spear. Looked like shit. Mm-hmm. Then Moose countered and hit Nick Nemeth with a spear. Also didn't look great. Pins Nick Nemeth 1, 2, 3. Matt Hardy comes out. Twists of fate to Moose, holds up the title. And now that's the end to their pay-per-view. Yikes. You have another 50-year-old guy holding up a belt like he's going to go for it. And you go, well, he's a free agent, so maybe he won't. Problem is he's now confirmed to be wrestling in a match this week or next week.
Oh, no.
In place because Nick Nemeth is quote-unquote injured, he's taking his place to battle the System, which is Moose, Eddie Edwards, and Kurt Hawkins.
Yeah, Mike, I'm on your side here. I'm a Matt Hardy fan, but I don't want to see Matt Hardy in a ring. I want to see Matt Hardy as a manager or as some dude off to the side. You know, he doesn't need to be going after a world title, especially not a singles world title.
Well, too bad because he's back in TNA, baby, wrestling the System. He's going to take it to the man.
Delete the System. Sorry, I had to get that in there.
I think this whole conversation...
And that's what TNA's working on, folks.
Yeah.
It's
only a matter of time before
Ali.
Jeff Hardy shows up, too. It's going to be great.
They have somebody we can all believe in Joe Hendry.
Yeah, I know that one.
Sorry, I had to get the claps in.
They have so many good names, and then they're just like, or we could bring in Matt Hardy.
What if we take Joe Hendry and put him against Top Dollar?
Yeah.
That's the fucking match everybody wants to watch.
Yeah.
Although seeing his entrance video with the AI overlay of Top Dollar as Joe Hendry was fucking hilarious.
I love all the Joe Hendry clips that are popping up.
Wanted WWE to snipe somebody more just God. I don't even care if he doesn't wrestle in WWE. Just the fucking shenanigans he could get up to with a bigger goddamn budget would be spectacular. Could you imagine him and R-Truth on the same show?
Oh my god. Stop it.
I would love that.
Oh, you're making me sad now that that's not going to happen anytime
Triple
soon,
H,
Mike.
please. Triple H, please get on that contract tampering.
Damn it.
Call it.
Spend
It's
the money.
worth whatever
Spend the
fine you're
money.
going to get, whatever lawsuit, it's worth it. Get Joe Hendry on the phone. I believe in WWE to sign Joe Hendry.
Now, we put on pause the fun talk. We go on back to Cody AJ. I agree with everything that the both of you was saying. Unfortunately, I just don't want AJ's next reign to come at the cost of Cody finishing the story. I think AJ's reign is due, just not this one right now, as Cody needs a very
not after
strong match. No, of course not.
Now,
how long
here's
do
my
you
question.
think? Oh, go ahead, Mike.
I was going to say, how long or how many crossroads does it take to beat AJ?
Ooh. 2.
It took
Is it just going to be
3.
one crisp, one straight on the dome, or is it going to be 3?
Oh no, it's gonna be one crisp, one right on the dome. Yeah, there's gonna be a spike in there. It's gonna look awesome.
Mm-hmm.
He always does that thing where he sort of over rotates and like lands right on the top of his head too.
Yeah,
he makes
especially
those type
with
of moves
AJ.
look phenomenal. Oh my god, of course.
He's gonna put his whole a juicy in it. What stylussy? His whole stylussy. Oh, that sounds gross. My question, since we all agree that Cody Rhodes is not going to be losing this, how long do you think Cody Rhodes gets a run for? I think he holds it until next Mania.
I agree. It's not. This is going to sound mean, but he's going to hold it till next Mania. I think. I only want him to hold it till I don't know, for 6 months or something.
Yeah.
The problem is they're making these big titles so important that they can only be changed on WrestleMania. God damn it! And it's like, well, what about a random Survivor Series victory or a random SummerSlam victory? Does it always have to be WrestleMania now?
Or Hell in a Cell? Make that mean something again.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Because I feel like if you make Cody's reign kind of short, I feel like that sort of does a bit of a disservice to everything that Roman did the past 4 years. You know, you're going to have well, okay, agree to disagree then. Because I guess in my...
That's just making Roman look that much better, right?
Then the guy that took 2 years to beat him loses his title in 6 months.
Exactly. Roman's so much better that it took the other guy 2 years to beat him and an all-star cast of people. And really, you could just say Roman didn't want to hold the belt anymore. He wanted to go to Hollywood. And then you could have Roman do a one-off, be like, look at you already losing my belt. That's all right. I'll take it back from whoever the hell has it when I come back.
Mike, that's just the My Rise story.
Again. Yeah.
He is copying. Oh, no, it is My Rise.
That's just the undisputed My Rise story, Mike.
Oh, Jesus.
Exactly.
No, that was a good story. But no, I think if they are going to have Cody lose it early, I think they should take a pay-per-view like Hell in a Cell, for example, where you can have just a super violent match. Imagine granted, I have no idea when he's going to be fully healed up again, but imagine Seth versus Cody in Hell in a Cell again for the championship. That could be a match where if they're both out there and they're both out there giving 100%, they could easily do that match where it doesn't matter who, Cody Rhodes will be literally fucking dead, they could take it to a level that they never took it before with Roman. So I feel like they could end it early and keep Cody looking strong. But ultimately, I feel like just for Cody's sake of having that kind of, that full story, I feel like when he gets to next year's WrestleMania, I feel like he'll still probably have it. At that point, though, there's probably going to be so many other contenders that like, I don't know if it's going to necessarily be like a one-on-one match or something, like it could be.
Wait, maybe they could actually put on a good match with him and Carmelo.
Yeah, because what the fuck was that on Friday?
Well, they missed their Cody cutters or whatever.
Oh, pretty bad, yeah. That was one of those spots where I was like, man, this guy's the world champion. He is him. And they both missed. Oh, woof.
Yeah. You're looking at that match on paper and you're like, this is gonna be fucking awesome. And then you're like, oh, what the fuck? That's some AEW shit right there.
Blindfolds on?
Yeah, Cody Rhodes thought he was on Dark, I guess. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But I was worried because after I saw clips of that, and then like immediately I started seeing things online where people were like, oh, Cody Rhodes' shoulder got hurt from that. And like, I guess it's not like a huge injury, but like it was just like a little sprain or whatever. Like, he's fine.
Probably like a shoulder stinger.
Yeah, but like, they're right. Like, why would what were they expecting to happen there? He hasn't even had a fucking title defense yet. Can you not be like, I get that he wanted to go full, he wanted to go like 100%. And I appreciate that as somebody who's, watching it as a, as a consumer, but also at the same time, like, dude, keep your body alive, please. Cause like, you've already torn a pec.
He's no Ilya.
Yeah. you don't need to be wrestling these kind of matches. You can just go out there and, hit your fucking John Cena spots or whatever. Like, we're okay with that. We're good.
And as much as I want a short reign, it's not going to happen. I think you both are right. He's going to hold it at least until next Mania, if not longer. Which I get. It's long-term storytelling. It's just, I was raised in the era where all of a sudden it was like, we had a title match change on Raw. We had a title match change at Backlash, at Payback, at Survivor Series, and we just haven't had that in so long.
I don't have an issue with that as long as they don't, start doing the old Charlotte and Sasha, where one of them,
oh Jesus, no,
God, hot potato with the damn thing. It's like, oh, I don't want it anymore. Here, you have it. No, I don't want it. You have it. That was
Charlotte
a little
has
much.
12 reigns.
They have a cumulative length of about a week altogether, but she's got 12 reigns.
Yeah. No, I would love to see like title defenses and title changes happening on Raw and SmackDown. I think, and I feel like that's probably where they want to go as well. I feel like if anything though, we're gonna see that first with like just the women's titles, just because like that division needs help. And I don't know. I mean, obviously we have, at this point, by the time the episode has come out, the draft is already concluded. So we don't know how the women's division is going to look. And I think they can even technically, I think they're in storyline able to do trades until May 4th or 5th or some bullshit like that. I don't know, whatever.
After the pay-per-view, yeah.
Yeah, sure, whatever. But like, I would love to see it come back because like your main event, it's really nice to see your champion defend against a really, really, really good challenger. But I do miss the feeling of being like, oh, wait a minute, they're actually going to do it, right? Like, you never got that feeling during a Roman match. And I feel like during Cody's matches, like, especially if they kind of let him get a couple close near falls, like, that feeling's going to come back. And that's what makes those matches fun to watch. It's like, you're sitting there, you're looking at your clock, it's 11:58. And they're going down for the pin, and you're like, oh my god, they're gonna like that. Well, that's the wrestling that's gonna come back.
That's probably the good thing about having a Damian Priest as your champion too, because he's been a part of this faction this whole time, and yeah, they've trusted him like with Bad Bunny and all that stuff. But now that he's champion, all of a sudden you're going, okay, he could lose it to McIntyre again, who could end up having a feud with CM Punk down the road. He could lose it to Jay, who could lose it to Gunther, whatever. All these options, and you're like, any match for him could potentially be the match that makes him lose that title.
Hopefully it doesn't come soon, though, because I do want him to hold on to that title for a little bit as well. I think Damian Priest, especially if you're presenting him the correct way. I mean, think about like... I agree. Think about Undertaker holding the World Heavyweight title, and think about all those insane shots that they got of him. You know, like
Yeah.
oh boy, they have a chance for some cinematography with Damian Priest fucking with his reign. It's gonna be great, and especially with their new stepped up production, WWE's gonna fucking do him well. It's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, how do you real quick, because we've been talking about it off and on and the whole internet hates it, how do you go from having the worst camera work to the best camera work, but then also somehow getting the worst music out of any wrestling company?
God, I don't know, man.
Did they make a deal for the camera work? And it was like, all right, if you're going to have this camera angle, you also get the shittiest music. And they were like, son of a bitch, fine. You got me.
I get Jim Johnston's in his 70s or whatever, but like, what's the CFOs up to, right? Like, they still need some money.
It's like, we'll get rid of Kevin Dunn, but that means you guys got to take on Def Rebel. Deal's a deal, I guess.
Like, that's, in my opinion, that's the one thing that AEW had nailed down from day one. The guy who does AEW's music, Mikey Ruckus, he posts on TikTok, and he has some like crazy compositions for some of these themes. Some of them are just total shit. But I feel like that's one of the things that AEW has always had over WWE. Like, WWE just has the shittiest themes right now. And AEW even went as far as giving Chris Jericho a shitty Def Rebel theme.
Well, I mean, WWE used to not be afraid to spend money on music, and now it seems like they can't. I don't know if they're not allowed to do that anymore or what, but I mean, think about how many wrestlers had songs from outside of the company.
Yeah.
And we just don't get that anymore, besides for Rhea. I mean, Triple H is still Triple H. Cody Rhodes.
Yeah.
Randy Orton.
And that's the thing, is that the coolest entrances in the WWE right now are the ones that are not the ones that are not Def Rebel, you know? Like,
yeah.
Like the coolest entrances are with fucking Motorhead, not with fucking New Catch Republic, and then the most fucking generic bullshit you've ever heard. I all I do is I just think back to like Royal Rumble when people were like, man, all of these songs are so generic. You never know who's coming out, because I don't know who anybody is from all these themes. And then they just decided to put the shitty fucking tags in the front. It's like, dog, I don't care. I don't need Naomi to spell out her whole name. Just give her a cool theme, and I'll know it's Naomi from her cool theme. And she already has a cool theme, too.
I'm amazing. It's along the lines of, like, when was the last time that anybody even called Bayley a role model? Like, why the fuck is her theme role model? And then it goes into the fucking Bayley. That is not Bayley to me. I heard it at Mania, and I'm going, what the fuck is this?
That's the thing, is
sense.
I mentally blocked it out. Like, I didn't even hear that at Mania, and then I watched it back, and I was like, fucking what?
I still don't understand why they did the whole Egyptian thing for Bayley. She's not Egyptian at all.
Don't, like, a queen.
There's definitely got to be something that there's got to be some link between them that we're missing here. You know, like,
it has to be.
I don't know what it is.
I don't know what it is.
Well, Mike, once you find it out, could you do me a Flava Flav and let us know once you do? Oh, excuse me.
Can I tell you? Definitely not doing that research.
I want to say it's probably something to do with, you know, being a part of the TKO merger now. I'm certain they're probably just trying to save as much money as possible to show that WWE is as profitable as it's ever been, even though we can clearly tell that they're holding off on spending money in all of these different places. Like, I think I saw a tweet about how they're going to start rolling back on Pyro a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah,
ooh,
which is
I want big explosions.
Damn shame. I love me some fireworks. And if you're going to start doing that to save some cash, no thank you. I could name a bunch of wrestlers that you could let go, like one of them being Jinder Mahal. I will hinder the Jinder, don't worry. Never been a fan.
Well, they hindered
Well,
Jinder
luckily you
for
don't
you.
have to worry about it because he is gone.
Yeah, let him go.
Oh my god, the batch of post-Mania
Yeah,
releases has struck once again.
Oh, yes. Yes, it did. The biggest release has been Cameron Grimes, who 5 days earlier, before he got fired, was told he would never be fired. Yeah.
The only thing that hurts on that one is that I feel like he's going back to TNA.
Oh, yeah, for
And I
sure.
don't
Yeah,
want that.
Trevor Lee will be back in
Because he's
TNA.
just become a furry little man again and look like a goddamn hobbit. He should go to A. Yeah, look him up. His name was Trevor Lee in TNA. He was just a furry. He was furry and looked mildly homeless.
I didn't even know that Cameron
him
Grimes and Trevor Lee were the same person.
I want him in AEW at least so he can put on some good fucking matches
That'd be nice.
instead of the nonsense that is TNA.
Yeah, I see him as kind of like the next return. You know, like I feel like he's going to be like the next Andrade, just going out, not necessarily at that same level, but going out, having a successful, you know, couple indie runs and a couple different, you know, getting comfortable with yourself again, and then eventually making a WWE return at some point. I don't know when, but I do see him coming back because he's really good. It's just they never had anything for him. It's another, you know, classic WWE case of here's this great athlete and this great talent they're an amazing pro wrestler, but you know, who's he gonna fight? I don't know. Let's go have him stomp Baron Corbin, I guess. Like, cool. Why?
I will say, in my opinion, big fan of him. Unfortunately, I think he kind of falls under the same category as the Vaudevillains, whereas that gimmick went over like Rover in NXT, but cocky crypto bro doesn't really have much legs on the main roster. So I think coming back with a fresh character will probably do him wonders.
Hopefully.
Fingers crossed, at least.
Yeah, well, time will only tell. But we got quite a little bit ahead of us. If you guys listen this far, thank you. We appreciate it. Go ahead and leave us a 5-star rating. You can just go ahead and hit that little rating button. You know, you gotta listen a little bit. So if you were skipping through, you may have to kind of let it play for a couple minutes in a certain part, but eventually it should pop up the rating button. You can just drop a 5-star rating there, because if you listen this long, it means that you do like us. So we appreciate you. You can also go ahead and share it with your friend. If you're on YouTube, go ahead and hit that like button, hit subscribe, all that stuff. I'm not a YouTuber, so I'm not really good at the Jackal, you're a YouTuber. Do a YouTube outro.
Make sure, if you enjoyed that video, hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel as we are on the road to 1,000 subscribers. Comment down below anything else you want us to talk about. Any sort of challenges, gripes, groans, comments, questions, concerns, moans, tones, stones, any of the sorts. If you have any concerns or questions or complaints about me, my name has been FGK. If you liked what I did, my name is Jackal Joker. Now, you can find me on twitch.tv/Jackal Joker. You can find my friend EraV1 at
twitch.tv/EraV1 or on YouTube at EraV1 Music. I'm posting some new stuff going up there soon for some upcoming projects, because I got to try to get ahead of that, hopefully. And if you go over on Twitch, we're going to be doing some fun IRL streams coming up soon, because I bought a house and I need an excuse to make content. So,
you can use it as a tax write-off.
Yay for homeownership.
Yes, sir. Yeah, if I'm streaming, it's right off. Yeah, it's all free.
And then you can find my friend. You can find my friend Mike outside of your window.
Mm-hmm.
Right
Peering
now.
in the middle of the night.
Hey,
right now.
listen.
On a ladder.
Your house looks nice from the outside.
Oh.
All right.
Thank you.
I like what I see.
Hmm?
You look cute in that outfit.
Oh,
Thank you.
you should come back. You should come back tomorrow. We're gonna have new windows.
Ooh,
You'll be able to see inside
yeah.
better.
But ooh,
You know
look
what?
forward to it.
You know what? I actually have gotten a special guest here, and it was your former apartment owner, landlord, whatever you want to call him, and he's got one thing to say, and it's just a Oh, yeah, sucker punch! I got him down! Someone count it! I got the pin here!
1, 2, 3.
There it
Ring
is.
bell. Bitch, you're trying to raise my rent $200, you piece of shit.
Fuck that guy!
Yeah, that's the thing. They actually tried to do
He's going
that.
to get pinned.
Oh, it felt good to laugh in their
Jesus.
face, though. That was good. That was
Oh,
good. That was a
Jesus.
good. Yeah, it was a good sucker punch. They're a woman though, so I don't really know why
Give
they
him a
were
good
selling
chair
the punch
shot
to
as
the
he
dick.
leaves.
Oh,
Oh,
chair shot.
there it
Oh
is.
yeah, let's get concerto. Yeah.
That is, wow, that is a hairy woman. I'm sorry, sir.
Oh.
Ma'am. Oh, sorry. Oh, Jesus, I'm just going to stop talking.
She is homely. Yeesh.
She sounds hideous.